a real experience of having lived through that in a way that I can't. I have been to visit, but I have not had the distinct pleasure of spending a full semester in Athens. So we can go ahead and get started. This is the wrong angle, but you actually get a view of this every day you go to the study center. Like you can see, not quite from this angle, but you get to see the Athens every time you go to the study center. All right, let's jump in. I sort of hope you all know where Greece is generally, at least. You will be in Athens. Athens, while it is on the coast, is a harbor town, and you are not on the beach. You are in city center. So how long does it take to get to the water?
Like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes.
In a taxi or by bus?
Taxi. Yeah, I would say at least 20. Depends on where you want to go, like on the beach, like there's different areas, but yeah. It's like 15 miles or whatever. Not bad.
It's not bad. It's closer than we are now, for sure, to the ocean. Close to a beach when you're at St. John's, but it's a significantly different experience. Students there, so we work in a study center, so they are developing some new classes where you might have interaction at other universities. I think that they are expanding that program. But most of your classes take place at the study center, which is beautifully located, very close to the apartments, and has a lot of different classes and topics you can work on. And you'll be there with other US students and maybe some other international students, but predominantly other US students. Although you will be living with CSB, SJU students. The director for next year is not here with us today. She's actually leading the study abroad program at the UN Climate Conference. So she's leading that group. So she is currently in Azerbaijan at the conference in Baku, and so could not make it back to be with us. But at some point, we will set up other opportunities for you to be able to interact with her. If you have questions, you can always make an appointment to meet with Jean if you have specific questions about her class, or you just want to get to know a little bit about her. She's led a good number of study abroad programs, including Rome, Italy. She's not led Greece before, but she's done France a number of times. So she has spent a significant amount of time herself abroad. So she's a great person to know. Courses that you will take, everyone is required to take the study abroad seminar, which is with Dr. Jean Levine. That course will get you your CS, your GL, and your ES. So you'll be able to tick off quite a few things with that course. It's only CSB SJU students. It's your only 4-credit class. All the other classes are 3 credits. Now, sometimes the question comes up, if I take my theology for 3 credits, do I complete my TI, like your upper theo? You do. So if you take your AE, if you take your TI while you're there, even though it's 3 credits, it still completes that full requirement.
Okay, so when I calculate about like that, I either can take 16 or 19. So like for example, like the total credit I can take in here is 18. Is this? So for study abroad, I can take maximum is 18. Is it?
Yes, you'll take 4 electives, so you'll take 16 classes. 16. You can't take more.
I can't take more.
No, because it's only possible. They're 3 credits each. You'll take 4 electives, which puts you at 12, and then you have to take the director's course, which is 4, so that puts you at 16.
Can I ask a question? So if I take, so for example, if I take 19 credit, I have to pay
Yes.
one credit more.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, you have to pay the overload.
So I just pay the overload, like just 1 more credit, is this?
It would be an individual circumstance that we would talk about if you were particularly interested in that. We would need to discuss. Everybody on the program takes 4 electives, so we would need to work on that specific individual circumstance, but generally it's a 16-credit program. you can get your CX, your GL, your EX, your AE, your TI, your HE, SW, so there's a lot of things that you can get done there. If you are taking Greek, you can take the next level of Greek if you want. You can take modern Greek or ancient Greek, they have both, and they have Latin if those are courses that you're taking. These are from some of the sites that you sometimes go on while you're working on your program. So like as part of your class, you sometimes go out and do other excursions associated. I was gonna pull up. I'll move to you all in a second to get your favorite classes, and I'll have you introduce yourselves and what your majors were. But when you go to the portal where you log in and create your profile so that you can apply for programs, that the global portal, right? If you go there and you find the academics page, you'll find the link to this page and you'll find the link to CYA's page. On CYA, you can go and look at all the courses that are going to be offered in the fall. They have full descriptions and syllabi. So if you want to know a lot about those classes, you can absolutely go on their website and learn a lot right now, if that's what you're interested in. But what were the best courses? First, introduce yourselves and tell us your major, sorry.
Okay. My name is Kieran. I am a GLS and comm majors. Took some classes. I took a psychology class, which was probably my favorite. It was called Trauma and the Remaking of the Self. Learned a lot about how immigrants would come to Greece and how they would deal with like coming into like a foreign country and how they would get access and everything to things that they would need. And also took Religion of the Middle East with Despina. You were in that, right?
Yeah.
Julia?
Yeah.
She's the best. She was actually just in a photo back there. She loves CSBSJU. Like she
Loves a lot of the.
she rides, yeah, a lot of cops do. But she I would say one of her favorites, not even being biased.
I'm Sam, I'm an exercise and health science with a psychology minor. I took also a psychology class, and then I also got my upper theo, which I took Greek mythology instead, which it's an interesting course, it's just a lot of readings. If you're not really into that, that's something to like be aware about. And then I also took like an ancient Greek art class or sculpture, and like went to a lot of museums and all that fun stuff.
I'm Brianna, I'm an accounting major. My favorite class was sports, games, and spectacles, or honestly anything with John Carabas, he's the one that teaches it. He's really cool and just like really fun, he makes it very like interactive, so like we went into like gyms and he like taught us how to like wrestle, and then the campus is right next to like the old Olympic Stadium, so like you go running on the track and like race and that kind of stuff. So that's a fun one.
I'm Julia. I'm an exercise and health science pre-chiropractic major. I would agree, my favorite was the sports, games, and spectacles. John is the best, and it was just so fun, and it's a good way to like get your energy out of it.
Not as much writing and reading.
Yeah.
And most of your classes, did many of your classes go out into Athens to?
Pretty much all of them,
Yeah.
I would say all of them.
You walk a lot.
Yeah. Get your steps in. Did you, or I don't know if you mentioned though, we don't have classes on Fridays.
Yeah, I did not mention that.
That's a plus. Monday through Thursday.
How long are the classes?
Hour half, yeah.
Usually get like a break halfway
Mhm.
through.
Not too bad.
Super feasible.
This is some of the study center. These aren't the greatest photos. It's hard to get a photo inside of a classroom. That looks awesome. What about lunch?
Lunch is super good there. They provide you lunch every day of the week. So Monday through Friday, you have an option to eat there. It's free, it's included in what you pay for, and it's amazing. It's
It's like traditional Greek food
Mhm.
too. So it's a good way to like expand your palate and try some things. They always have dessert too. Yes.
And they were quite generous portions,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you get like seconds too.
yeah,
which is
Tarts.
maybe kind of nice since you were doing all your own cooking or meal
Yeah.
planning. There is no meal service, right? There's no Reedburg Recce. So you live in apartments with other St. Ben's and St. John's students. You have a kitchen with all the things that you would need in there. But having one meal to not cook a day, at least 5 days a week, I think is perhaps nice. Get into that in a second. So apartments, living, life.
We're all like a few blocks like away from each other, none of them are like super far apart, and then you're all really close to like the study center and like all the other classrooms. And then everyone pretty much lived with like 4 to 5 other like St. Ben's or St. John's students. And then some apartments also had like other students from CYA like in them, so like when you're walking down the street, you'd like recognize other people that like in classes.
most of them are doubles, so there'll be 2 in your room. Some of you will be just 1 person, but a lot of them are 2. But they're pretty spacious, like compared to what we have this year, they're like, inside the rooms are.
And what comes in the apartments?
A kitchen, living room.
They give you like pots and
Bathroom,
pans, stuff
yeah.
in the kitchen, so you buy that.
Appliances.
There's nothing you really needed to
Yeah.
bring unless you're.
Like you have to bring bed sheets, but like they give you like a pillow and comforter and all that stuff.
Oh, they actually provided bed sheets.
Did they?
Yeah, I didn't know.
You get your apartment cleaned once a week.
Oh, yeah.
But so when the cleaning people come, you kind of know to get out. I mean, you can say, but it's a little awkward.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
A lot of them don't speak English either. I like tried having conversations with them, and
Yeah.
did not work out well.
Through the school, there was also like maintenance too, so there was a dude that like if you're having problems with something, like they would send him over. and he'd,
Like our power went out
Figured
one
out,
time, and he like literally just called the number and he like came within like 20 minutes. Yeah, so. They're, yeah, very good about. everything.
Yeah, and you live in buildings with other families and
Yes.
Greek people, so it's not just other students, so you do have to be mindful. The fact that kiddos and people who need to wake up early are all there. How far did you have to walk to get to class?
I think our,
2 blocks.
yeah, ours was like a. Such a
90-second.
Yeah, ours is
Yeah.
like right, I think ours was like,
5 tops.
yeah,
Yeah,
so not bad.
not bad.
The apartments do not have laundry though, but you can do it at CYA. So. And there's a few laundry mats and stuff too, but other people did that, I never did.
So you do have to find a way to move your clothes. Did you do a lot of drying at CYA or did you bring them back? If they're drying racks, then you don't have to.
I dry mine, like hung it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when it was hot out, your apartment comes with a drying rack. And so you just like put it, I was gonna say each apartment, I literally think has a pad or a balcony.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a really cool part of it. You could overlook the street depending on what street you're on. If it was like cool enough, but yeah, with the hot weather, it was easy to just pay for a washer. And then bring your clothes back in like a suitcase and then hang it up on your balcony.
Laundry is €2 and then it's an extra euro for detergent. We just got her and then just run with. And then it's another €2 for the dryer, so it just made sense to bring it back and then dry it in your room.
And how far did you have to go? Like, how did you feed yourself? Where did you go shopping? Where did you go out to eat?
There's a lot of like corner stores that will have groceries, and there's also a pretty big grocery store, kind of like 2 minutes up from where campus is, or the study center is. So it's not a far walk at all, and like when you're there, you usually buy stuff for like a few days, it's not like you go on a huge grocery like trip, so it's very like easy to like walk with you.
Yeah, groceries are very inexpensive. Which if you go to Greece, you'll find that out, so that's a plus. It's pretty budget friendly.
Food like anywhere is pretty, like even going out to eat
Yeah.
is really cheap, so.
Grocery stores are typically like a bring your own bag, unless you wanna pay for bags.
Also for those who aren't super into cooking at home, and don't really care to be, yeah. The food delivery service there is so cheap, so it's like DoorDash, but it's called Wolt, and it's literally,
It's like $0 to $1 like delivery fee most of the time.
McDonald's has a $1.25.
yeah,
Okay, you paid premium for McDonald's?
oh yeah.
That's what's delivered, okay. So excursions that include this program, you have about 10 days of different kinds of excursions. So you go to Delphi and Ancient Olympia. That's right at the end of orientation. You spend 4 or 5 nights in Crete,
Yeah,
because you take a ferry overnight.
Well, they switched it.
yeah, they did switch it.
To what?
We did ancient Olympia,
We did,
Olympia
yeah.
with Peloponnese.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they switched it then.
Peloponnese.
Peloponnese,
Delphi was like that first.
Mhm.
yeah, Delphi is the first weekend, so then they must have.
Switched it by a little bit.
And then there are optional excursions that CYA arranges for students that you do have to pay for, but they make them fairly affordable, so you can get into other places within Greece and have a guide with you, which is a pretty cool experience. Did you all climb Mount Olympus?
Yeah. I highly recommend
Yes.
it. It was not
The
the
views were
most
sick.
fun experience doing it, but like looking back.
Yeah. It was amazing, it was amazing. My legs are just sore thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's not like a cute little hike, it's kind of like, holy
It's a
crap.
mountain.
I also think we went higher than
We
previous
did.
groups ever did.
Yeah.
And I think that got lost in
We got a new
translation.
instructor.
Yeah, so I don't think you'll have to go as far, but
But yeah, because that one, the weekend before us went up to like our halfway point, and then we just kept on going. We just didn't stop.
Did you all, I forget, did anyone run or volunteer at the Athens Marathon?
We had 2 in our group. We
I regret that though, not running it, but like volunteering. That was like one of the coolest days ever.
Yeah.
If you're a runner, it does happen while you're there. You can sign up. There are shorter, you don't have to do the full
Yeah.
marathon. There are 5Ks and 10Ks, I think, so
Yeah.
there are definitely shorter ones. What sort of outside the classroom activities did you do that you thought were interesting? Did you all, olive harvesting or bread making or? Cause they change kind of year to year what's available.
I did a few olive oil places while we were there. Our CSB SJU group alone went to the Temple of Poseidon and went like swimming in Sunyan, and that was really cool.
Yeah, we went to a bread museum, we got like the best home cooked meal ever. We've done like a all-day boat cruise. To a couple different islands, just like one day type of thing.
Yeah.
Anyone do the cooking classes or did they all have this?
I did one.
Filled up super
Yeah.
quick.
So there are lots of other activities to try. Yes, go
Do
ahead.
you have time to go to other countries if you'd like to?
Yes.
Yes.
You have like a 10-day break, and
All
like
break.
like halfway through the semester, and like
And not having class on Friday is super nice, so if you're done, you can hop on a plane Thursday night and then come back on Sunday, so.
Yeah, for our break, we went to 4 different countries, so there's a lot of time to go.
And I think a lot of us, like the first half of the semester, we went to just like on the weekend, we went to Greek islands, and then once the second half, we went to more countries. Cause you wanna go to the Greek islands, right?
And Thanksgiving, we got like 1 or 2 extra days, so that was a long weekend, so.
Yeah, the Greek islands kind of, some of the ferries start shutting down, right? They don't
Like
run as
October.
frequently in October, because the weather is no longer as nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this one's Mount Olympus. What is this the
Oh,
one?
yeah. Well, that was from, what,
3 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago?
It was that.
Good picture.
It's the marathon, one of the middle Athens marathon.
there's like a outdoor like workout area, they have hoops and, why did we say that?
Horrible.
Yeah, hoops, and we would, well, I didn't really that much, but, we play like volleyball against each other, and sometimes the locals would wanna like play against you, which is funny.
Yeah.
We saw mom and, no, my big fat Greek wedding.
Agree.
Three.
There's lots of like open air cinemas, cause the weather is so nice, so like, it's just like a screen, like you're sitting outside it, like food and drinks and stuff, but this specific one is the one that's by the Acropolis, so like you can see the Acropolis lit up. Like right next to it, and that's kind of in like the downtown area.
Bottom left is the farmer's market. It's the Likey, right, every Friday.
Yeah, Fridays, like. I don't remember the time, but. But for, as part of orientation, they take you there and show you how to like buy fresh fruit and like produce and stuff from the locals, so that was a cool thing also.
And it's pretty economical to go there.
Yeah,
You
it's
can buy fruits and.
very affordable.
And what are these?
Sudaki and euros.
And how much for something like that? How easy?
Like $3.
I'd say euro is like 350.
Yeah.
So Lucky's gonna be a little bit, actually, no.
So if you,
Like 2 to 5.
Yeah.
2 to 5 euros,
Seriously lucky, like chips, like. Not like, that one looks like a nice
I
restaurant.
was gonna
but, like,
say, that was, I don't think that was that, but
Probably
probably around 10. But the euros are super filling. I feel like a lot of the guys maybe got 2 or so.
Yeah.
They were feeling really hungry, but, oh, they're amazing.
So pretty affordable to eat out.
Yeah.
In terms of, so this is the study center. This is the ancient Greek amphitheater, and here's the study center, so you're right there on the corner of everything historic.
Like she said earlier, the balcony, if you're like looking out the windows in the study center, you can see the Acropolis and all that, so.
It was crazy to be as close as we were, like, CYA has the best spot.
We'll just talk quickly about cost. In terms of cost, everything online is yet about this semester. We don't have 25's new numbers, so these are based on this year's costs. The study abroad fee is the only one that's gonna go on your student account. It goes on in July. Then the rest of, you can find this all online. The rest of it is kind of broken down into what will happen before you depart, while you're in country, based on what students tell us they're spending on different things. Students generally budget 6,000 plus to travel on this program in terms of including food, flights, other miscellaneous costs, maybe additional travel. So when you're thinking about what you would need to budget and save for above and beyond what you'd be spending on campus, probably. There are scholarships, and I do work a lot with scholarships, so if that is a conversation you want to have, I invite you to just make an appointment with me on the Hive, and I can help you find some things like that. Do we have any questions? Any questions at this point? We've got through things pretty quickly. I'll start asking more questions. What was your favorite excursion?
Through CYA, or like,
Yeah, let's start with the ones attached to the program as part of the program.
I would say Crete. Yeah,
Crete?
that's, yeah, you go to one of the islands, they take like an overnight ferry, yeah, that
And
was
like
cool.
basically every day they bring you to a different beach.
Yeah, it's like you go do like educational things, that's like K of, but like how many hours, and then you go swimming, and
And
then go
like,
get lunch.
yeah, our group went on like the tour winery for one of those things, like an all
now.
you definitely have to, so there's like a sign
You
up
have to
for
pick
it.
them well.
Yeah, because I did not pick mine well, and I was doing a lot more of like ancient, like architectural.
Which if that's your thing, then
Right.
like perfect.
So just like look into that, ask the teachers because they all lead a certain one, so just ask around, so you can find good ones.
They do try to highlight the different
Yes,
tracks that
yes.
you will go on, so then you select. Yes,
What's the weather like? Is it usually pretty nice for the most part of the year, or does it ever get pretty cold?
I think the coldest it got was like November, December, and it was like 60 degrees.
I was looking at my phone yesterday, it was like 65 there a few days ago.
Something like-
So the question is the weather pretty nice? How hot did it get? Minnesota's just worried about the cold, but.
When you're out, like, especially in the excursions, and it's just like straight sunlight, it's definitely hot.
But like, I think it's like 100.
It's not as humid, it's like dry heat, so
Right.
like when you're walking around, it's hot, but if you're just like sitting, it's not awful.
Mid-80s maybe?
Yeah, I'd say average is probably 80s.
Yeah, so pretty nice.
Yeah.
Right when you first get there, though, it's pretty warm.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit of a shock.
You stay tan though for a few months more than anyone else, so.
Can't imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, other questions at this point?
I guess what are your favorite excursions not through the program?
Any of the islands. Can't really go wrong with any of them. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
We're talking,
Yeah, one weekend, we all went to Mykonos, like there's 15 of us, and we booked like a huge Airbnb.
it's like 4 houses like
It was
connected.
insane. Yeah, that's the thing too, is you stay in a lot of places that you're like, I'm a college student, how can I like be in this place right now? Like, there's a hotel in Delphi you stay at, which is literally the most beautiful hotel like
No suit.
ever seen. And, yeah, a lot of the renting and stuff is pretty affordable, especially when you split it with a big group. But, I don't know, the boat cruise was my favorite out of them, it was really fun.
It's fun to do things as like a big, like, get bigger groups too.
How was it managing in?
Athens has gotten more touristy, so you can definitely get around with English pretty easily. There's like the few like smaller maybe restaurants or like local businesses that there might be an issue, but
There's usually at least like one person that like can pick out what you're saying.
I thought the scariest thing was like that you can't read the sign, like some of the signs don't have English, but like all the big ones do, it was just like your apartments ones don't necessarily. So like when we got dropped off, me and Julia got dropped off in the wrong spot and we couldn't read the sign of where we were, we were only a block off, so it was okay.
He just
but
like pointed, he was like there.
somebody found, the people from CYA said we were going the wrong direction, but
Yeah, I think it's pretty, they
There was
knew
only-
more English than I thought.
Yeah. I would say there was more people that didn't take Greek than did while we were there. Like I took it, you didn't take, yeah, I took it, and it was like interesting to learn the basics and stuff, but you definitely don't need to take it, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Definitely like learn like hello and goodbye. Cause like,
Well, they do
They-
a
they
little
teach
course
us,
at the
yeah,
beginning,
for
and it's like,
orientation.
hello, how are you? Like, my name is, I'm a student from America, stuff like that.
General manners,
Yeah.
survival Greek.
Yeah,
and they really like it when you like introduce yourself in Greek. Or just a lot more personable, cause you're making an effort to. Yeah, culture.
You have a question?
Yeah, did any of you guys take any Greek courses at all?
I did,
You did?
I took the intro to modern, yeah. That's we learned a lot of the basics of like, I'm from America, I studied this,
Are you glad you took it? Would you recommend taking it?
It was a lot of work, I really liked my professor, so she was awesome. It was like, I like that there were some times where we'd go to like restaurants and I was someone that could like sound out the words and stuff, so that was kind of cool. So hindsight, yes, but in the moment, I was like, this is a lot of work.
What class is that, can you say again?
What?
What class is that, can you say again?
Intro to modern Greek. Cause they also teach the ancient version, which. I don't know why you're
Yeah,
that, but,
Or is that?
oh, yeah,
So, I want to avoid some bad and a lot of reading and writing, so which is your advice in that, like, in class, you got people that are not writing and reading?
I wouldn't take Greek if you don't want to read and write.
Or Greek mythology.
Greek mythology is also a lot of reading, and we wrote some papers.
But what is Greek mythology, is it Is it like what subject is that? Is this like a history or something?
That one, we got our upper Theo, so it's like a religion theology.
Is that have a few cheap or just reading and writing?
Did you get out of the classroom much?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a few Friday excursions for that class, which is another thing, but yeah, we went to the Acropolis and then some other.
We went to the Athens Museum a few times, some like temples.
So for theology, we glad to think like have the most few cheap. For theology.
More skill trade. They're both probably English, I feel like.
With Despina, I feel like we went to like maybe, just like 4 or 5 places, like we didn't go a lot.
Ours might have had to like a few more than, but it's probably pretty close.
A lot of your classes are gonna be a lot of reading. That's what a lot of them are, but it was so. I mean. I didn't really do a lot of the reading. A lot of them have reading to do, but it's, other than that, for homework wise, it was like reading and then midterm. Reading
Yeah,
and
so
then
midterm and
midterm.
final were like
Yeah,
two
huge.
That was your
Kind of
busy
fun.
those weeks, but besides that, it
So
was.
what you say? What like you say that for theology? What that have the most few cheap?
I think they were probably fairly even in the
Yeah.
number of classes.
What class in theology have the least reading and writing?
They're probably all pretty similar. I would say they're probably, you're gonna have the same workload for a lot.
Yeah. So for two more questions, before I choose like that. So for artistic experience, which class have the most few cheap and less writing reading according to you guys?
We took art, ancient art and archaeology with Hussein.
Yes,
Were you in that? We
Yeah.
went to a lot of
yeah,
places. It was like
They're
every
gonna-
week we were somewhere.
yeah.
A lot of the
Excellent.
same
different
places.
What did you say? Excellent art and what?
Art and ancient, oh wait,
Art and archaeology.
yeah, it was art and ancient archaeology.
Okay, thank you. So that's very helpful. Yes.
I love the test like in that class.
In that specific class,
Yeah.
the tests.
Okay, so
Okay.
midterm was tricky.
Some of them were like, some of them were like open-ended answers, like he would,
Mhm.
yeah, but there were some he would like take pictures while we were at the museums and be like, what is this? What time periods? Or like, which time periods?
Yeah. Our
Next to
midterm,
ancient civilization,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember whatever, so like 10.
our midterm was take home, and I remember Brie and I sitting,
Oh,
just
just hours.
staring at it for so long. The final
It was
was,
take home.
yeah, it was take home, so.
Yeah.
But the final was a presentation,
Yeah.
and there's like a sign up for it, and like 6 of you get to do it online. And like record it, and everybody else gets to perform it in person. So really get
And
on that. so
That's one you
record it.
can choose too, so I did some, mine was, I thought was cool, it was like, it was how like the Nazis like based the Third Reich off of like Spartans. So like you can choose like a topic of something you're like interested in.
The teacher has a lot of different categories, there's like music, work, like a whole lot of stuff, and he has a bunch of articles and everything that you can choose from, so you just kind of.
Mine was cosmetics and ancient Greece. So we can take Nazis or that.
Yeah, and mine was music, so like a lot of different, a lot of variety.
Yeah, he's so passionate, he's a character, he will bring a guitar to class and like have instruments for everyone to play and make a song at the end of
Your
it.
daily homework in that is to actually make a meme about what you're learning about, so the homework, the daily homework is awesome.
Yeah, and so then Kieran and I, at the end, you like enter a contest, and if you get the most likes on his like Instagram page, you win your meme on a shirt. And Kieran and I won our memes on a shirt.
But, yeah, yes, he's awesome.
So generally the classes were things you enjoyed. I mean, it is a study program. This is.
With the study, it's like we're on it.
Yeah.
But it's fairly reasonable. We do still plenty of time to explore and try
Yeah.
other things. More questions? Otherwise, if you have questions about the process, I can talk a little bit about the application process as well. I love it.
I have one question for you. So for example, the maximum we can take is 18 credits.
the maximum you can take, you and I will have to have a conversation, because there's a limit on like how the credits work out and transfer back. So if you are looking to take more than 16, we will have to have a conversation individually, so we can do that afterwards, okay?
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay. I'll just talk quickly through a little bit of the process. Right, the application is open. If you have not already logged into the global portal and made a profile yet, I recommend that you do that. When you get into that space, you can start looking around a lot more. There's a lot of information there about housing, a lot of classes and more pieces there. The application isn't due until February 4th. When did you all start your applications? I maybe don't want to know.
Thanks, December.
Yeah, over break,
You did it over Christmas?
is a good thing to do.
I submitted it before we got back to school for checking second semester, but.
January,
So I did mine pretty early, I don't know.
I think Cat was the night before.
Oh, it was.
So it works at all speeds.
Yeah.
If you start it early, if you start it later. You do want to be mindful a little bit, you do have to ask for references. It's just a form, so it's not a demanding reference, they don't have to write a letter. So they'll just get a form to fill out. It does have to be one faculty member and then somebody who knows you in a different capacity, so somebody that you haven't had in class. Coach, an advisor on a club or something else that you're involved in, an employer, something like that. Let's see, really, some of the limits on going abroad would be around if you were on probation, either academically or due to conduct, disciplinary probation. Students who are on probation can go abroad. But otherwise, we do try to target around 2.5 on the GPA minimum, but it is a holistic review. So occasionally people come in and think that they are like me. I thought I was going to be a marine biologist, and then I went on to become an English major with a history minor. So there are times we have discovery early on, and so that should preclude us from being able to have these experiences. So this is a goal that we look at, and if we're not hitting that, we're looking for an upward trajectory, and we have a conversation about how we maintain that and how we're going to be successful abroad. We're just concerned about making sure people are successful when they go abroad. February 4th is the application deadline. There is an application fee of $300. If that is a little bit too much to pay at one time, you can set up a payment plan and it would just be coming in to visit with me about that. If you need additional support, want to talk about financial aid or anything specific about the programs, you can make appointments with me. I'm in the Hive. Yeah, questions? I think we'll stop there. Any other questions?
Will you make this presentation available for us to access?
Yeah, there's a page on my CSB SJU, and I will email you all of the link, and it will have all of the presentations for all the programs. So if you did want to review another program, if you didn't make it to it, you could absolutely spend the time to watch it. Yes.
I guess, what kind of differentiates Greece from like other big programs like, I guess Italy or something like that?
The lunch, for sure. Back to it. I'm pretty sure Greece is actually the only program that offers.
That is true. We did hear from the Rome people, they were jealous that we got.
Yeah.
And our school being so close to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
our
another
locations are
thing.
nice.
And
And
then
like,
field trips,
Yeah.
a lot of people are jealous of.
and financially, it's
Yes.
probably one of the cheapest ones, like,
Yeah.
what, maybe not like school cost, but like once you're there, everything's very affordable. in Greece.
And having all the islands, it's.
Yeah,
And
the
your-
travel you can do is pretty cool.
Your apartments have AC.
That's.
Rome does not have AC either.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this stuff, that was, you know.
And it's hot in August. Yes.
Wait, you say that people in Rome jealous with you?
What?
You say that people in Rome jealous with your program, with this program?
Well, no, we meant that they were jealous that we had lunch, because through their stay dinner, they had to cook all the meals.
Neither did London.
So are you jealous with the Rome?
So I would say that nearly every alum that you speak to about which program is the best is gonna say whatever
We're
program they were on.
We did spend like over 3 months there, so we're gonna say.
Yes, is generally the preference. They're just saying that like the lunch is quite affordable. Greece itself is a very affordable location compared to Rome. Some of the programs, because of the costs within the like countries themselves, there are fewer excursions. This one has quite a few excursions compared to most of our programs. If you do Spain or someplace with a host family like Argentina or France, then all your meals are included in that cost, and so that changes the differential there, and you get to have the experience of a host family. But most other places, every other place, you are responsible for your own meals. There aren't dining. The Reef and Grecky are just not a thing that exists most other places in the world.
So talking about excursion, you think that this program had less excursion than the final program?
No, this has probably more excursions than many of the other programs.
But not the most.
I haven't done a count up. Japan might compete with it. Japan has quite a few.
Yeah. I get a lot,
But in Europe, this is probably the most in Europe. So then there's the number of days.
What other programs did you guys look at? When applying?
Rome was probably my favorite.
London.
Yeah.
Austria.
Yeah.
Is anyone like debating the fall versus spring semester thing?
That was me, majorly.
And yeah,
I don't regret it.
You're gonna miss out on stuff no matter
Yeah.
what semester, so just make sure it's a program that you do.
yeah, put that first, cause you're gonna get 3 full years of the same stuff.
So when did you come back? We came back December 16th, December 17th.
And you leave like, they left this year, September, what? Say
They left
31st or
They
something?
did the plan.
It looks like August 26th.
Yes.
Yeah, they were September 2nd, I think was start date.
So yeah,
this
they'll
year.
probably come back a few days later.
We left, Bree and I left early and we pre-traveled, so that's definitely an option too, like pre-travel and post-travel, so that's the.
And I also post travel, so.
This next year, the visa process will be slightly different. You will have to go to Chicago. We can no longer process the visas. So if you talk to a lump this year, the ones that are there when they come back, they will have had that experience, but you will.
Why'd they do that?
Because you have to show up in person and go through the biometrics. It's an EU
Okay.
piece of.
Gosh.
You have to go in person to the consulate in Chicago. It's easy, they're very nice.
It's a quick drive.
Huh?
6 hours.
Like drive or fly, and then take the train in. I mean, it's quite easy. I have done it for everyone in a day, and I have also driven a neat number of combinations, yes.
How about visa from, I have F1 visa, so.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy still to do, it shouldn't be a problem, but you and I can talk about that particular visa situation, because it'll be a little bit different, but it'll still be the same process, you'll still go in. Any other questions? Are there any other programs you're kind of curious about that you wanna ask? I mean, I do work in study abroad office, I'm familiar with our full portfolio, yes?
There's just one question about like the actual applying part, cause can you only apply for like one at a time?
Yes.
And then if you don't get into a program, is there another way to jump into one that hasn't been filled up, or are you just done with the study abroad?
No, so if you have to apply for your first choice
Yeah.
first, you can't have multiple applications open. If for some reason you weren't to get on the program that you wished, you can absolutely, programs stay open as long as there are seats.
Okay.
So the best strategy is to go with the program that you most want to go on. And then if for some reason you weren't on that program, then you could move to another program and we can move the application and we just do a little bit of adjusting.
Okay.
That's not a problem. You don't have to pay another application fee.
How competitive is Greece, do you know?
So it varies year to year.
Ours filled up, ours was 30. Yeah, like I would say we
There's one person not
Yeah.
getting in.
we
2 not getting?
So we don't discuss too much of that. If you put your best foot forward, it's not,
It just filled up really quickly.
it is a popular program. It's why if Greece would be a first choice, I would recommend applying to Greece first.
I guess if you're saying hypothetically like 100 students applied, and it's like a super competitive application, what's something that kind of solidifies your application over other students?
So things that are helpful in terms of the application process is when you look at your essays, really consider why Greece, why not another program? If you're just talking generally about study abroad, if you only refer to this in sort of a vacation-y way, that will be a little less successful. Think about what your goals are in terms of academic, personal, know something about the program and what your personal goals are. So that will help you stand out in terms of that piece. Those essays are not long, but the more you can feed into actually having indicated that you have done some research and are actually interested in studying in Greece versus studying in Rome versus studying in France or something like that. So yeah, the case to be made is why Greece, why not something, or why not stay on campus?
I have one question.
Yes.
So, for example, I'm not so sure if I go this year or next year, but can I apply in one application?
No, you have to, it's just one application each year, so if you were thinking next year, then you'd have to reapply again. If you applied this time, changed your mind, and then decided you wanted to go next year, you would have to apply again next year.
Oh,
But if you change your mind before you commit on a program, you do get your application fee back. So if you're accepted on a program, you'll get a couple days to really decide if you are committing to that program. Once you've committed to the program, the application fee becomes non-refundable. And it transfers into your insurance and your pre-departure sort of expenses and costs. So it's not as though it's just a fee. It goes back into different programming and different resources for the program.
Yeah, I guess how much do you guys collaborate with other like schools, like you guys, University of Minnesota, are you guys like friends, or do you see each other in class? Do you guys go out at night with each other, what is it like?
Kind of all the above, it's mostly like CYA is pretty much all like American students. So yeah, you would see the same people, like we would go out to eat with some people we became like friends with today.
And like your classes, except for that one that you're gonna take with your advisor or director, you're with other students from CYA, which is kind of a range of where people are from, a lot of East Coast and Florida, California, some Minnesota.
Those are private universities or colleges too.
They do have a special place in their hearts for St. Vincent St. John's students.
It's true. In the local coffee shop, they have like our merch hung up in there.
Believe it.
Did anyone call you, they have a nickname. Never mind. Not important. Trying to think. Any other questions or anything else?
What was the name of the coffee shop? K-Mo's.
Did you invite people in to make cookies this year?
If you see like sitting doing homework, Dimitri would just come over and like bring you like a plate of cookies sometimes, and then yeah.
Very kind.
He knew like everyone's name by the time we were all leaving.
Crazy.
So
The year I went to visit, he wanted to write a letter to the president saying how much he appreciated all of you. So,
Oh,
gosh.
this guy.
wait, the president of our school?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right. Not in the US. I know, that was weird. But I mean, Dave, he was very earnest. No, to the school.
Gotcha, that makes a lot.
I wanted to say that he appreciated how St. Vincent St. John's students conduct themselves and
Should the president like to hear too.
Okay, well, I mean, we're reaching the end of our hour, and so if you have any additional questions, I will stop the recording. Feel free to come up and ask individually or make appointments. If you have questions about other programs, you can also come up and ask. Thank you to our amazing. Meeting hour minutes.